Ryan McPherson, Moats, and Deke, who will have a breakout year on offense?
Breakout year on
Did we answer this already?
offense.
Did we already have a topic like this?
I don't know. We might have. Breakout year though?
What's this like? Who's gonna have like the biggest stats jump?
Yeah.
Uh,
Because, if I'm just going off of numbers exclusively, I'm seeing George. I think he's going to blow everything out the water. If I'm just thinking to myself, somebody that I don't expect to ball out, to like really come on the scene and play a major role, then I'm going to go Jalen Warren. Because that would mean there's something with Najee or just Jalen has played so well that they can't keep him off the field. Like, I would one of them two dudes then. But, yeah.
yeah, in terms of like coming out of nowhere, Calvin Austin could be thrown in
that's
that mix
a good
too.
one too. Yeah, it's
But
definitely a
again,
good one.
I don't think he has to have like 700-800 yards. I feel like a breakout
Yeah.
for him could be like 400, but then it's like 2 or 3 plays throughout the season that
Shoot.
are game-breaking plays,
When
like
did-
where he takes one to the house for 60.
Steven Sims last year, would you call that a breakout season for him?
No.
Not statistically, no. But we still felt it though. No, you're right. That wasn't a breakout. I'm tripping. I'm thinking about Ray Ray. That's what I'm thinking of. Before he went to San Fran.
Yeah.
You don't look at that as a breakout for Ray
I
Ray
don't think he
McLeod?
was a good receiver 3. I thought we passed it to him way too many times.
He was productive.
He
He's
caught
still
the ball at
productive in
least.
San Fran.
He caught the ball at least, but
And
I
he
mean,
had success on jet sweep, success in the return game.
we were just dumping it off to him for like 2 yards. Like he had
You don't remember Ray Ray having production here, man?
not enough.
Why you
I think
think
he had
San
like
Fran
300
paid
yards.
him? And then San Fran paid him, was it 2 for 15?
I thought he
or
was a
something
better
like that?
return
Yeah.
man than receiver for sure.
I thought it was all together, yeah. With the
Not a
speed,
receiver.
the burstiness.
I didn't like him at receiver.
All right.
Why did we have to play him so much?
Because that's when Juju got hurt. And then once he
Yeah.
left, that's when Steven Sims came. And Steven
Yeah.
Sims gave us production, bro. I
Yeah.
I don't think you remember the way that I remember Steven. I'm like, bro, Steven gave us moments, bro.
I know he gave us
Yeah.
moments, but I mean, you look at it. I think he only had like 100 yards total.
No, but that's what I was saying. Statistically, it
came up
wasn't.
clutch.
But in terms of for that particular player, that's deemed a breakout for him, isn't that? Or is that the norm? Because it's not the norm for him.
Well,
if that
he
was
wasn't.
the norm for him, then yeah.
he wasn't really on an NFL roster, so
So that's a
there's
breakout,
that.
right? Yeah.
There's that.
Like I look at a breakout like it's not saying that you are coming on the scene and being the best at your position in the league. I look at it as you're doing more than what we'd have ever expected from you. Like if your norm is 100 yards for the season, you come out and give us 300 yards, bro, that's a breakout. I ain't saying you're going from 100 yards to 1,000 yards. You know what I mean? But that's kind of how I looked at it.
Like if what's more of a breakout? Like if Pickett has between 3,500 and 4,000 yards and like 25 touchdowns,
That's definitely a breakout compared to where he just came
less
from.
than 10 picks, maybe a few on the ground. Is that a breakout? Versus
Why
like
wouldn't that be a-
Pickens having like 1,300
Both
and
of
like
those are
double
considered
digits.
breakouts, though. Both of those are considered breakouts.
Najee having like 1,400 yards.
If he did it with way less carries, it'll be a breakout. Because Najee, just by volume alone, flirts 1,000, 1,100. He's going to flirt with that.
Yeah, so whatever you'd categorize most as a
Yeah.
breakout between those. Now, I'll be honest, that Pickens over-under line was interesting to me. Whatever app had it, they had him at like 750 or 775. That's interesting to me.
Yeah.
I do think we're going to run the ball. And I feel like Pickett is going to spread it out.
Mm-hmm.
We got a lot of weapons.
Yeah.
I would like Pickens to get the 13, 14. But maybe year 2 is going to be the in-between for the big breakout in year 3. Like where he gets like 1,000 or like 1,100. I just feel like we got a lot of weapons.
We do.
I think we're going to run it. So I don't know if we're going to have an offense to where one guy gets like the AB treatment like that. That's what I'm wondering. I don't know.
I feel like that is, but it makes a lot more sense to me. I feel like it's like that because with all the weapons, the question is still at quarterback. But that's why, to me, I was a little bit surprised to hear you say that you still feel like they should just be running the ball. If you feel like he's gonna do that, it's like, man, with all them weapons,
Oh,
you just get after it. You know
I just
what I'm
think
saying?
I think it's a great formula to win games.
I just think, I'm with you on that. It's definitely a great formula, but that's the only reason why I can see the over under for GP being what it is they don't believe in the quarterback. Because if you're putting GP with the Joe Burrow, they're not questioning if he's going to get 7. Was it 7? You said 750, right?
Yeah, it was either 750 or 775.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I just don't think that they're going to be concerned about that when you think about how T. Higgins, Tyler Boyd, and even Jamar Chase cooks, right? And that's with a Joe Mixon. We talk about a lot of weapons, a lot of mouths to feed. Them dudes still eating. But the way that offense is centered is around the playmaker at quarterback. For us, same kind of format. But the question for us is he going to develop into what that is? Or in that ballpark? If he does, then all these weapons is no longer we're going to just run the ball and limit it to just that. It's, man, we do what we want and we can run the ball. Kind of like when we talk about Cincy. Even when you talk about Philly to an extent. Now, granted, their formula is still run first and everything is predicated off of that. But they still have that, this quarterback can throw it if he needs to. And he can cook you out here if he needs to. And that's when you look at A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith and even a Dallas Goedert. It's like, those are three high-level players at all those positions with, a running game that is still predominant, but everybody still eats. Everybody still gets a chance because they feel like that quarterback can do all of those things. I feel like until Kenny proves league-wide that everybody, they're going to always have that type of skepticism about our talented players around him because it don't matter how good GP is if Kenny can't make them throws or if he won't make them throws. And I think that's, when you talk about those lines and stuff like that, that's kind of how I looked at it.
He made the throws enough last year to get him 800. So already hit that over.
Absolutely.
Already hit the over. But I'm wondering this, like as you were just talking about kind of like the offensive structure and whatnot. Like think of those like Brady Patriots offenses.
Absolutely.
I'm not saying with like Randy Moss and Welker. Think of like after that.
Yeah, or before after when it was heavy on the tight ends.
Yeah, whenever they got the tight ends, like you had like an Edelman.
Yeah.
I can't remember even who their wide receiver 2 or wide receiver 3 was, but then they had those scat backs all over the place. Like Brady just spread it around all over the place.
Absolutely.
But they were successful. And like they ran the ball a lot too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like especially when you threw in like
Stephen Ridley.
I think
it was Stephen
Blunt,
Ridley.
I was gonna say Blunt was after Hernandez and them, but they definitely had another running back or two
Stephen
before.
Ridley. He was one of their dudes, man.
That's almost how I'm picturing it in a way. But at least we have Pickett. We have a better deep threat than that. Like you got Deontay and Robinson who could be in the slot in the middle a little bit. Freiermuth, obviously, you got the Darnell Washington, Jalen Warren, Najee Harris. Najee Harris can catch the ball.
Absolutely.
But like we do have that George Pickens element that we can get the ball way more on the outside if we wanted to.
You said everything literally revolves around Kenny. We know Canada has to do what he does in terms of the behind the scenes, but it's on Kenny. That's why I was like, if he gonna be as good as you think he gonna be, man, we not gonna be just running that rock like that.
Well, I told you the stats. I told you the stats that I feel like are very realistic.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
3,500, 25-ish touchdowns passing, 3,500, 4,000 passing yards, whatever. A couple on the ground. He's going to have rushing yards too.
Yeah.
I feel like that's very realistic for him.
I will enjoy that if I see that.
You'll be pumped.
Because you just named a Kirk Cousins stat line. And then you looked at me like I'm crazy when I say Kirk Cousins. And I'm like, you literally just named his stat line. I'm like, that's a lot. That's a lot that you just named right there, bro. A lot.
Here's the problem, though. Like
a lot you just named.
No, I just brought up Brady and Pitt. Like that's a Brady stat line for specific seasons throughout his career.
Brady.
Yeah, but this is my point. Like where stats,
guys,
dude. Like I don't think stats tell the whole story with
guys.
that. Stats don't tell the whole. Like Brady's on a different. stratosphere.
And it was different times. It was different times. Right? We talking about today's NFL versus when Brady was doing that. Different times. But I'm just like, that's a lot of yours, though, bro.
3,500.
I'm just saying, that's a lot of passing yards, bro. What did Tua end up with last year? And Tua missed a ton of games, right?
Yeah. You want me to check?
Yeah. I'm just curious, man. Because I think he didn't even get 3,500.
No. I think he missed too many games.
Yeah. But I'm like, he had moments where I would never say he was balling.
3,500 is probably, what, 200 a game? He did have 3,500.
He had 35.
Yeah, he basically had a stat. 3,500, 25 touchdowns, 8 picks. But this is what I'm saying.
You see what I'm saying?
Stats lie. I don't care what those stats. Like, he's not good. He's not a good quarterback.
I'm not saying is he good or not, but to have 3,500 yards, you are a good quarterback. You're good. You're decent. That's like the floor, decent floor. I told you what I thought was a good quarterback was 4,000, 20, and 10. That's the Kirk Cousins line. Like, that's a lot of passing yards, man. Ben has changed everybody's perspective in Pittsburgh of quarterback. That is not normal, man. But we're going to find out. I hope he does. I really do, because if he does, then we got the guy.
It's like
we got
200 a game. If he throws for 200 a game, that's 3,400.
That's like saying just throw one touchdown a game, you have 17 of them things, man. You know what I mean? All right, man, you throw 2 a game, don't throw a pick, man, you be all right. But we know it's not how it goes, man.
I think he's going to be in that range. 3,500 to 4,000.
Nah.
25 to 30 total touchdowns.
Nah.
And I said yesterday, I think he's going to be single-digit picks, too.
Nah. I hope
10
so.
and under.
I hope so. I do.
Because he was on that type of pace at the end of last season. Like, he only had 1 pick in those last 8-9 weeks. I know people were complaining. Like, if you look at his total stats throughout the season, what do you end up with 9 picks? Like, 8 of those came in those first however many games.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'd say at least 3 or 4 of them had to do with receivers. Honestly, we had Claypool on the team still. At least 2 could be chucked up to him. Ryan McPherson, Moats and Deke, who will have a breakout year? Oh, we just read that. My bad. So I guess I gave like 3 candidates.
Ooh, we got some options then. I like that. I like options.
Yeah, whoever you want to consider the most to break out there. Actually, I said Pickens 1,400.
Yeah. I
feel like that's least likely out of my Pickett and Najee projection as well. I would put Pickett.
So how would you rank it? You would go Pickett
and Najee. I'd say tied. I feel good about both those. I think Najee's going to have a pretty good year. Efficient year. Good O-line.
Because like with Najee, I know he's going to get 1,000. But I want it to be 1,000 with you averaging 4 or more.
I think he's going to do that.
Yeah. That's what I want to see with him. I think that is definitely likely, especially with the upgraded O-line. And I do agree. I think Kenny should be, because what did he end with last year? Oh my goodness, I'm surprised Kenny, it's that line. I know you had to memorize, man.
No, I don't care about the stats because that's all these haters are using against him.
Oh, so that's what you just all right. Well, how do you measure of like his growth without just simply saying
I watched the games? I watched the games. I got to see him.
So listen, eyes are cool. The reason why stats are stats is because perspectives are different when you're looking at it with feelings, emotions, but the numerical part of it at least gives you a baseline.
Well, I told you there are some out there when you're talking about QBR. Yeah. They got him like over 50 for the whole season. So I bet you his QBR for that second half was in like 65 range.
You see how you trying to fight back with me? I'm just asking a question about his yards, bro.
I'm saying you were saying like how do you have anything to match what your eyes are seeing? And like I guess that's one of them right there. Yeah. QBR, I know PFF, again, had him ranked as like the second highest QB, second half of the season.
All good, man. Yeah, all good. I was just simply asking about the passing yards.
2,400.
2,400. So when we're talking about
3,500,
if you're talking about 3,500 from 2,400.
So he averaged 184 a game last year. So like I said, it's 200 is going to get you to 3,400.
I like him at 3,200.
Okay.
I do. Turns, touchdowns, and picks. If I get it 2-1, I'm loving it.
4 game winning drives.
If I can get it 2-1, I love it. That's how I look at it.
Oh yeah.
Whenever y'all bring up like game winning drives, to me, you talk to the wrong guy because it's a team. I'm like, yo, that's a team stat. Put it on the quarterback coop. It's a team stat. Unless somebody miss a block, then we're gonna say, oh, he the reason they lost. You see what I mean? But if they win, you ain't talking about none of them other dudes, so it's a team stat. But yeah, 3,200.
It matters though. It matters though.
It does, but it doesn't matter enough in conversations like these. That's all. Because as you brought up numerous times, Kenny, multiple game-winning drives. You don't say GP, game-winning drives. He caught game-winning passes, though. See what I mean? So that's why it's just like, that's a team stat. But I get it, though. I do.
That's why the quarterbacks are paid the big bucks, though.
Absolutely.
Like they are. You need that guy.
I'm with you.
Like I think you're limited as a team if you don't have that guy that you could trust, you could rely on
to an extent
in those type of situations.
You definitely are.